Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Sahar Farooq. On behalf of AFAQ online learning platform, I welcome all of you to this video lesson for new Sun series Science Grade 5 Unit 1. इस वीडियो से कौन लोग फ़ायदा उठा सकते हैं? You can get benefit if you are a student, a teacher or a parent. But before starting this lesson, I would like to tell parents and teachers that what make AFAQ unique. As we know, planning is key to success for learning and teaching. That's why AFAQ provides you a systematic learning through academic calendars. AFAQ academic calendars क्या हैं? AFAQ ने बुक के कंटेंट को कवर करने के लिए एक साल को 3 पीरियोडिक टर्म्स में डिवाइड किया है और हर टर्म 2 पीरियोडिक यूनिट्स में डिवाइडेड है. इस तरह से एक साल के अंदर टोटल 6 पीरियोडिक यूनिट्स हैं. What is periodic unit? If we look further into periodic units, each periodic unit is further divided into 6 weeks. 5 weeks are for learning and teaching and 1 week is for assessment. So there are total 36 weeks in a year. 30 weeks are for learning and 6 weeks are for assessments. But that's not all. On the basis of subject weightage and academic calendars, we provide you a suggested timetable. As you can see here, there are 5 periods for science subject per week. You can change this timetable according to your needs and requirements. Students, now we will start our Unit 1. In our Sun series, Unit 1 is divided into 2 parts, Unit 1A and Unit 1B. In this video, we will learn Unit 1A. So students, the title of our Unit 1A is Classification of Living Organisms. In this unit, we will cover 3 SLOs. It's activity time now. Look at this picture. What's going on in this picture? In this picture, the boys are greeting each other. Ali is saying, "Hello, how are you?" Umar is saying, "I am fine, thank you." Now you have to greet your fellows and come back. It's activity time. The first period is about introduction. The methodology for this is given in DLP 1, Day 1, Week 1, Unit 1, Term 1. Now you have to introduce yourself to your fellows and have to solve the worksheet. You have to solve this profile and show it to your teachers. Okay students, now I am going to ask you some questions. You have to answer those questions. Have you ever visited a zoo? You must have gone to a zoo. How many different animals did you see there? You must have seen lots of animals. What distinctive features did they have? Some may have 4 legs, some may have wings, some may have long tail. Now you have to pause this video and answer all these questions to your teachers or parents. Okay students, now you have to categorize different animals. You have to write similarities and differences between different animals. So quickly write the similarities and differences and come back. Look at the picture. You can see a variety of living organisms in this picture. You can see some animals, you can see some plants. Now open your textbook page number 1 and answer the question given at the end. It's activity time. In this period, we are going to cover 1 SLO, describe the classification of living organisms and its importance. The complete methodology to cover this SLO is given in DLP 2, Day 2, Week 1, Unit 1, Term 1. Students, you have seen a variety of living organisms around you. But do you know that how many living organisms are present in this world? Around 1.5 million living organisms have been discovered by scientists and many more are still unknown. These living organisms are different in structures and behaviors, so we need to group them to understand their features and behavior. Now the question is, how can these living organisms be different from each other? Let's observe your surrounding. What do you see? Did you see different characteristics of different animals? You must have seen different features and behavior of different organisms. You must have seen a long trunk of an elephant or some patterns on the body of the zebra. In this activity, you have to compare some living organisms. Here, some land animals are given. You have to write about their structure and behavior. And after completing this, you have to come back. You have observed different animals. You have written about their structures and behavior. Now, which method helps scientists to group these living organisms? So there must be a method to group living organisms. The method by which scientists group the living organism is called classification. Classification is the method by which scientists divide organisms into different groups. They made a key to identify organisms and groups they belong to. This key is called classification key. It is based on similarities and differences of the organisms. Now the question is, why classification is important? Classification is important because it helps scientists to identify, group and name organisms on the basis of similarities and differences found in them. It also helps in understanding the relationship among different group of organisms. Now it's activity time. In this period, we are going to cover one SLO, and the complete methodology to cover this SLO is given in DLP 3, Day 3, Week 1, Unit 1, Term 1. What is the classification of living organisms that scientists made? Students, do you know that earlier living organisms have been divided into two groups, animals and plants. But with time, it was found that some organisms neither fit into animals nor in plants. That's why scientists classify them into 5 groups. These 5 groups are called 5 kingdoms. So all living organisms in this world are divided into 5 kingdoms. The number 1 is kingdom Monera, number 2 is Protista, number 3 is Fungi, number 4 is Plantae, and then it is Animalia. The kingdom Plantae and Animalia are further divided into 2 subgroups. Kingdom Plantae is divided into non-flowering plants and flowering plants, and kingdom Animalia is divided into vertebrates and invertebrates. It's practice time. Students, you have learned about different groups of animals and plants in grade 4. Now you have to write some similarities and dissimilarities between vertebrates and invertebrates and flowering and non-flowering plants, and show it to your teachers or parents and come back. Let's study kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera consists of all bacteria. Bacteria are unicellular organisms. Some of bacteria can prepare their own food, while some cannot prepare their food. Some bacteria are beneficial, while some are harmful. And some bacteria are neither beneficial nor harmful. Bacteria are present all around us, but we cannot see them because they are microscopic organisms. Now you have to read the book page number 3 to get more information about kingdom Monera. It's activity time. In this period, we are going to cover one SLO, and the complete methodology to cover this SLO is given in DLP 4, Day 4, Week 1, Unit 1, Term 1. Let's observe another kingdom, that is kingdom Protista. The best example for this kingdom is algae. They can be unicellular, multicellular or colonial. Algae is found in ponds, rivers and lakes. Algae have the characteristics of both animals and plants. That's why they cannot be categorized in animal kingdom or plant kingdom. Here you can see some examples of algae, Euglena, Spirogyra and Volvox. Some organisms of kingdom Protista are unicellular, just like amoeba and paramecium. They have different shapes and sizes and live in variety of habitats. Now you can see different protists in this picture. Just look at them and identify their names. It's activity time. In this period, we are going to cover one SLO, and the complete methodology to cover this SLO is given in DLP 5 of Day 5, Week 1, Unit 1 and Term 1. Let's observe another kingdom, that is kingdom Fungi. Fungi can be unicellular, multicellular or filamentous organisms. Fungi cannot prepare their food because they lack chlorophyll. They grow in damp and moist places. They absorb their food from dead or decaying matter or living organisms, and sometimes they cause diseases in living organisms. Here some fungi are shown in this. Mushroom, rhizopus and yeast are some examples of fungi. Now you can see different fungi in these flashcards. Just look at them and identify. You have learned about fungi. Now you have to solve this worksheet. Look at the pictures and identify the organisms. Write its name and kingdom in the box. And the next is, how are fungi different from protists? You have to solve this worksheet and show it to your parents and teachers and then come back. It's activity time. In this period, we are going to cover one SLO. The complete methodology to cover this SLO is given in DLP 1 of Day 1, Week 2, Unit 1, Term 1. Let's observe Kingdom Animalia. This is the largest kingdom. The organisms of this kingdom are multicellular and they cannot prepare their food. So they obtain food from different organisms. This kingdom is further divided into two groups, vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates are those organisms that have backbone. Their backbones support them and help in movement. They are usually bigger and faster animals. You can see different vertebrates here. Now, invertebrates. Invertebrates are those animals that do not have backbone. They have small bodies and move slowly. About 97% of all animals are invertebrates. Here, some invertebrates are shown here. Worm, octopus and crab are some examples of invertebrates. You have learned about vertebrates and invertebrates. Now look at these pictures and tell me, all these organisms are vertebrates or invertebrates? Yes, these are all vertebrates. Now look at these flashcards. What do you see in them? Are they vertebrates or invertebrates? Yes, these are all invertebrates. Now students, you have to analyze and write down the features of vertebrates and invertebrates. You have to write down the features of vertebrates in this column and invertebrates feature in this column. So quickly write the features and come back. It's activity time. In this period, we are going to cover one SLO and the complete methodology to cover this SLO is given in DLP 2 of Day 2, Week 2, Unit 1, Term 1. Look at the flashcards. What you can see in these flashcards? You can see a variety of plants here. Some of them are flowering plants and some of them are non-flowering plants. It's time to learn about Kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae consists of all plants. Plants are multicellular organisms. They can prepare their own food. That's why they are called autotrophs. Plants are further divided into two groups, flowering plants and non-flowering plants. Flowering plants are those plants that have flowers. They produce seeds which are enclosed in and are formed from flowers or fruits. Rose, orange, apple, wheat, rice are examples of some flowering plants. Non-flowering plants are those plants that do not have flowers. Their seeds are not enclosed in fruits. They have needle-shaped leaves which have seeds inside them. These leaves spread by wind or water, which helps in their reproduction. Here, some pictures of non-flowering plants are shown. As you can see here, this is a spruce tree, fir tree, pine tree. Okay, let's do it. Now you have to open your book page number 1 and solve these activities. In activity 1, you have to visit a botanical garden and enlist the names of 10 flowering and 10 non-flowering plants. In activity 2, you have to write 2 facts about each kingdom in the given spaces. So quickly solve these activities and come back. Okay, another activity is given on your book page number 7. You have to choose the kingdom of the following organisms and write their kingdom names here in the given spaces. Solve it and show it to your parents or teachers. Again, another activity is given on page number 7. In this activity, you have to write the names of living organisms placed in each kingdom in given pentagon. You have to write the names of living organisms of each kingdom in this pentagon. Solve this activity and show it to your parents or teachers. It's activity time. In this period, we are going to cover one SLO and the complete methodology to cover this SLO is given in DLP 3, Day 3, Week 2, Unit 1, Term 1. Let's learn about biodiversity. You have learned about a variety of organisms. This variety of organisms is called biodiversity. It includes all animals, plants, bacteria, and humans. This diversity confirms natural sustainability for all life forms. Biodiversity is very important because human existence on this planet is not possible without it. It provides humans with food, shelter, water, oxygen, energy, medicines, and different opportunities for recreation and tourism, and many more things. Unfortunately, human activities are disturbing this biodiversity. Humans are affecting biodiversity directly or indirectly. Changes in land, deforestation, species introduction or removal, harvesting and pollution are some of the direct factors that are reducing biodiversity. Humans are affecting biodiversity adversely. Because of increase in population, humans are clearing lands to fulfill their needs. They build houses, harvest crops, introduce or remove species according to their requirements, and increase pollution by adding waste to the environment. Because of negative impact of human activities, biodiversity is affecting adversely. Some species of living organisms have become extinct and some are at verge of extinction. Such organisms are called endangered animals. You have learned about endangered and extinct animals. Now, a worksheet is given. You have to solve this worksheet. You have to write differences between endangered and extinct animals, and you have to paste the pictures of 2 endangered and 2 extinct animals and write their names. So, solve this worksheet and show it to your parents or teachers. It's activity time. In this period, we are going to cover one SLO, and the complete methodology to cover this SLO is given in DLP 4, Day 4, Week 2, Unit 1, Term 1. Decrease in biodiversity poses serious threat to humans. So, we need to conserve endangered animals. For this purpose, we have to do following things. We need to educate people about endangered organisms. We should not pollute the environment. And we should reduce those activities that become a source of pollution. We should protect natural habitats of living organisms. We should use resources responsibly. We need to use 3R strategy: reuse, recycle, and reduce. And we should obey laws the government has made to conserve endangered animals. Now students, open your book page number 9 and solve the activities given on this page and show it to your teachers or parents. It's activity time. Okay students, you have learned about classification of living organisms. We have completed our chapter. Now you have to solve the exercises. The complete methodology to solve the exercises is given in DLP 5 of Day 5, Week 2, Unit 1, Term 1. Students, open your book page number 10 and solve this worksheet out. You have to write the name of kingdoms in this classification tree. Students, turn to page 11 of your textbook. Some MCQs are given on this page. Read the statements carefully and solve these MCQs. On page number 11, question B is given. Question B is write true or false. You have to read these statements and write true or false in these boxes. On page number 12, question C is given. Question C is match the kingdoms with their examples. In this column, names of the kingdoms are given, and in this column, examples are given. You have to match the names of the kingdom with the examples and show it to your teachers or parents. Students, now you have learned all the concepts of this chapter. Now the questions are given on page number 12 of your textbook. Read these questions and answer them in your notebooks. On page number 13 of your textbook, a project is given. You have to read the procedure of this project and you have to design this project. Students, we have completed Unit 1A of our textbook. I hope you have understood all the concepts very well. Now you need to revise these concepts because there will be a revision in week 5, because there will be an assessment in week 6. Now I will say goodbye to you and we'll see you in the next video.